Hello everyone, how you doing? This is Carla Widenix with today's inspiration. I often say that I feel like a square peg that don't fit, and I find it difficult for me to fit in my surroundings, my environment, where I'm living now. I'm just a different species of a person, I think. But I was thinking about it, and I was actually going to write this, but I'm just going to speak it out. And um, basically, bottom line, I'm just not, I'm just not, I'm just not that kind of a woman. Now, what do I mean? And this is not anything really negative. I'm just different. Where I live now, I live in a rural area. I live in Mississippi. I live in what is considered the country, and it's a beautiful place. It really is, and I enjoy it. And it's quiet, it's different, it's a slower pace than what I'm used to in New Orleans. Um, but I remember way back when my husband and I were dating and when we were engaged. I remember when I met his grandfather. Um, they called him Paw Paw. And I remember we were actually at Jerry's home where he lived in the city in New Orleans, and I loved his grandfather. He was a very nice man, great man, and he accepted me right off the top. But I remember him telling Jerry and saying to me, he was saying that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And it was funny then, but I'm like, what do you mean I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? And I understand what he means. You see, I thought about it, and this is where this comes from, that I'm not that kind of a woman. Sometimes I questioned myself, and wonder, am I a strong woman? Because what I find is that, okay, I'm not the kind of woman. I wasn't raised in the country. I wasn't raised working in the field. I wasn't raised picking stuff. I wasn't raised raising animals. I wasn't raised um, doing that kind of hard work that many of the people who live here say that they grew up doing, or even their parents. And I thought about it. I remember one time, since we've been living here since Katrina, and that's been 8 years. And we were living with my mother-in-law for about a year. And I remember I had started back working, and I remember one day I came home from work, and I was bent over in pain. Females, you know what I'm talking about. The female pain. I had cramps very bad. I mean, I was bent over. And she asked me, she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Oh," I said, "these cramps." She said, "Oh, you'll be okay." She said, "We can't let that stop us." And I kind of like, I mean, I'm bent over in pain. Not that I let it stop me, because remember, I was coming home from work. I went to work. But some of us know how painful it can be. It's more painful for some than for others. And I mean, it was just so difficult. And I said to myself, "Oh, I'm not that kind of woman." Meaning, and I don't mean this in a nasty kind of way, but see, she's strong. In her generation, they're strong. They're the kind who would have had a baby, and tomorrow they're out there in the fields working. See, I know God knew where to place me, what time and place to place me, because He knows I would not have made it. No way, no how. But and I questioned myself then. Well, what's wrong with me? And I'm not a strong woman. What's wrong with me? Uh, I thought about all that, and I thought about what Papa said. And I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm just not that kind of woman. And I used to wonder, well, why does Jerry? Why was he ever attracted to me? Why did he marry me? Although he was born and raised in New Orleans, he still, all of his people are here in Mississippi in the country, and this is what he loves. But I'm not that kind of a woman. You'll never catch me on a horse. You'll never catch me petting a horse. You'll never catch me around cows. Just things like that. You won't find me in the garden, and you wouldn't. I'm just used to, you go to the store and you buy what you need. You know, I have nothing against people who do that, but I'm just not that kind of a woman. You and it made me question who I am. But as I do so, because recently I don't know why it came up in my mind. And I said again, I'm not that kind of a woman. It's not just that, but I just feel like I'm just so different from everybody else. But God keeps on reminding me. He keep putting in my heart when I let this come up in my mind. He puts in my heart that I am who He made me to be. I may not be that kind of a woman. I may not be that kind of a person. I may not do those things. I may not be what is considered strong as other people are, but I am who God made me to be. I am what I am by the grace of God. And I need to be satisfied with who I am and stop comparing myself with other people. I'm just different. And you know what? I'm different, but they're different from me. So, do I expect everybody to be like me? Yes. No, just joking. But no, I don't expect everybody to be like me because I know I'm one of a kind and I know that one of me is enough. It really is. But my encouragement to you today, I said all of that to say this: embrace who you are. No, you may not be like mama, you may not be like mama-in-law, you may not be like sister whoever, you may not be like whomever. And even when you do things, you may not do the things like other people do it. Because you can only do what you can do the way that you can do it, the way that it's placed inside of you. Nobody else can do what you do. Turn it around, look at it like that. Nobody else is like you. So love who you are. Thank God for who you are. Embrace who you are. Cultivate who you are. And just be proud of who you are. And most of all, thank God for who you are. I am thankful for who I am. And I love me some me. You have to love yourself because God loves you. And God don't make no junk. He didn't mess up. He didn't make a mistake. You are exactly who you're supposed to be, and what's placed inside of you is exactly what God placed inside of you. So God bless you. Have a great day. This is Carla Wideness for today's inspiration.